All right, let's do it.
So, again, lie down on your back, just tuning into your lower back, into the spine. Have that palms faced up, shoulder blades underneath you. And then from here, you're gonna start the breathing. Knees together, feet apart. And again, exploring everything that's going on, even inside the rib cage, like I was talking about, the organs. So as you inhale, the diaphragm will flatten. And as you exhale, the dome, push everything up. Feeling the space that breath can create inside of you. On your next inhale, try to increase your breath capacity about 10%, nothing big. Just a little deeper. And then walk your feet in just a little bit, knees apart, hip distance apart. And as you exhale, round the lower back, exploring the lumbar, seeing if there's any tension as you round. And then inhaling, exploring any tension as you lift up. So which curve, as you flatten, or as you go into a curved lower back, lordosis, which one has a little bit of a tickle of an opening? Moving with the breath. On your next inhale, lift your head, take your hands behind your head, and as you exhale, pull the elbows together, lift your upper back off of the floor. Inhale, coming down. Moving into that thoracic part of your spine. Remembering that we're just really interested in the curve of the spine, abs will tone in sympathy. And then also seeing if you can start the breath before the movement. So when you exhale, start the exhale, then curl the body around it. And then start the inhale and open the body with it. Couple more breaths. And then we're going to go side to side. So as you inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, elbows over to the left. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, over to the right. And coming down. And then see if one side is stiffer than the other. If so, feel free to pulsate there.
Is having the arms together important?
Sorry, what?
Is it important to have the arms as close together as possible, or just holding your neck up?
You're just supporting your head. The elbows coming together aren't going to do much, but it kind of is inspired by the exhale. You know what I mean? So there's this undulation in the upper back. So I guess when you do open the elbows out, you pull the shoulder blades together. So I take it back. And then when you exhale, elbows come in together or allow that opening in the upper back, like in terms of expanding the shoulder blades and curling. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, so when you're coming down, like really feel those shoulder blades come together a little bit. You don't have to like really emphasize it too much, but then when you exhale and the shoulder blades come apart, then you have that whole curling in the upper back. Couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, come down, take the arms down to the side, straighten your left leg, and then on your next inhale, lift your right hip up, and exhale, coming down. And seeing if there's any tightness there. Feel free to linger. At any part of the journey you can hold.
That's working great, Elizabeth. Great.
Is that working on the lumbar? Good.
Perfect.
Do you feel this on the right side or the left side?
I feel it move from the right to the left as I go.
Okay.
Perfect.
And again, legal to linger any part of the way. So if you want to hold because it feels like a good opening, a good 20% tickle of an opening, feel free to hang out and breathe. I feel like it's a lucky day if I feel somewhat symmetrical. More breaths. And then take your arms out to the sides into a T. And then as you inhale, flip your right hand up and over your thumb to go into the deeper twist, if you will. So you flip over the thumb, not the pinky finger. Right shoulder blade can come off the floor. And you just pulse in with the breath. On your next inhale, hold. Appreciate the back bend, hemi back bend, if you will. And exhale, come down. Arms down to the sides, bend your left knee. right leg goes straight, and as you inhale, lift your left hip up off the floor, and exhale, coming down. Notice what's going on this side versus the other side. Legal to linger. You find a nice opening or a sticky place. And then from here, arms out to the sides in the T again. And then as you inhale, flip over your left thumb. Coming on down. Couple more breaths. On your next inhale, flip over the thumb again and hold. And come down. Take the arms down to the sides, straighten your left leg, relax and feel. Then from here, bend your right knee. Lift your right knee up so you can take your right hand on top of your right kneecap. And then start stirring the pot with your right hand. So you're taking your right knee in circles, exploring the right hip. Doesn't matter which direction you naturally go in first. We'll go in the other direction in a moment. Just exploring the hip as your arm will allow. And after a couple more circles, let go of the kneecap now and start exploring the circles without the hand. And explore all the range of motion your knee can go in. Range of motion in your hip. And then take the knee back up, and then take your hand on top of your kneecap in opposite direction. Stir the pot in the opposite direction. What's different going this direction? Always for me, one direction has more clumping. And then release the knee with the hand and explore this direction with the knee alone. More circles. And then straighten the leg and relax and feel. Compare the right to the left. And then from here, bending your left knee and stirring the pot. Exploring the head. How is this side different than the other? And then release the knee and go into circles on your own. And then from here, grab the kneecap again with the left hand and go in the opposite direction. And then release the knee and explore this circle as much as you can. What's going on in this hip? What's different about this one versus the other one? Couple more circles. And then release the leg, relax and feel. And then from here, bend your knees one at a time. Keep your right shin on top of your left thigh, flex your right foot. From here, arch your lower back off of the floor. See if you find any opening in the right hip, lifting your lower back off of the floor. So this is that almost supported cow pose. Exhale, round your lower back, push it into the floor like we do. And then inhale, take your spine into neutral. So not lifting off the floor, not pushing into the floor. See if you can keep that spine in neutral as much as you can. And take your left foot up off of the floor and grab the back of your left thigh. If this is too much, you can take your foot down And you can lift your left heel up off of the floor. Or if you're perfectly fine here and you find a lovely opening with your foot on the floor, you can keep your foot on the floor. So all of those are bus stops. I'm trying to keep it out of your lower back as much as possible and put all the emphasis into the hip. We're not trying to open the lower back. Really trying to open up that right hip in such a way that the lower back doesn't have to do the work. So if anything, while I'm doing this hip opener, I'm trying to keep my lower back lifted up off of the floor, even though it's probably touching. For me, it's touching, but I still have a lift to send the emphasis into my hip as opposed to my back. And then if you have the back of your thigh, take your foot down, and then from here, you're going to exhale and take the knees over to the right. And inhale and come on up. And then exhale, knees to the right. Inhale, come on up. So playing with this twist. And once you have this pattern set up in the lower body, we're going to move into the upper body. On your next inhale, knees come up, grab your elbows with your hands. So elbows are pointed straight towards the ceiling. And hands are grabbing the elbows right over your chest. And then as you exhale, elbows come to the left, knees come to the right. Inhale, come on up. So exhale. Elbows and knees going in opposite direction. And with this crisscross in the body. Legal to linger at any point of the way. So if it just feels really awesome to hold the twist, go for it. And you can even turn your head to the left a little bit as well. I'm not trying to crank on the neck. Like I said, neck typically has a fair amount of mobility for many of us. And we're really trying to go into places that tend to be tight, which is the upper back and the hips. A couple more breaths here. And then on your next inhale up, release the arms. Take the shin down, right shin down, place your left shin on top of your right thigh. And again, if this is plenty of an opening, hang out here. And arch your lower back up off the floor. See what that feels like. Round your lower back into the floor. See what that feels like. And then come into that place in between those two movements for your body. Try to keep this neutral spine as much as you can. And maybe the foot stays on the floor because you got a lovely opening going on in your left hip. Or maybe your right heel comes up off the floor to intensify the opening. Or you grab the back of your right thigh. But if you do, and your lower back rounds into the floor, try to keep your lower back lifted a little bit, so that you're sending the majority of the opening into the left hip and not into the lower back. Keep breathing. Often when there's intensity in the hip, the breath tends to suffer in terms of its depth. That's okay if it goes a little shallower, but just be aware of it. And make sure that it's shallower because of the position of the body, but not because you're trying to hold on. It's like the tension transfers from the body to the breath. So if anything, you can think of it, that transfer that you want to let go with the breath. And then release the back of the right thigh. Right foot comes on the floor. Arms out to the sides. And as you exhale, knees go over to the left. And then inhale, come on up. So exhaling, moving with gravity. What's going on with this side of the body? Leave it to linger. If you find anything that's sticky, feels like it needs a linger, on your next inhale, knees come up, arms come up, elbows straight up towards the ceiling, grab your elbows, and then on your next exhale, elbows go to the right, knees go to the left. Inhaling, coming on up. See how that goes for the upper back. Head can get on it too. Just be really gentle on your neck on this one. Really trying to focus on the hip, the lower back, and middle back. Leave it to linger. Inhaling, coming on up. Release the arms, release the legs, relax and feel. How's it going on inside of you? Okay, so the on-the-go yogi 10-minute series, if you will. I'm not sure if it's exactly 10 minutes, but go grab a strap or a belt or whatever you've got. You'll need that for the on-the-go yogi. So this is something you can do during the week to kind of help you unwind a little bit. In addition to the restorative postures that we tend to do in this class, which are all low tech, all safe to do on your own without a lot of alignment cues. So make sure you got everything. Good, I see you guys got your rubber bands. Those are awesome. Okay. Have them nearby. We're just going to go over the range of motion in the hips. You guys have just done this, but we're just going to be really clear on the sequencing of it. And then we'll go into straps, which is a little more advanced of an opening. You have to be careful a little bit. So, lying on your backs. So think about your hips and their range of motions that we just explored. right? So hips go down, they can go side to side, they can go up. So from here, bend your right knee, left leg is straight. Take your hands, if you can, on the right kneecap or on the thigh. Either way is fine. But really focus on that left leg being straight and strong, like you're standing on your left leg. That's how engaged your left leg needs to be. Imagine you're trying to balance on your left leg. You know, if you're balancing on one foot, what would that tension be like in that leg? And the other thing to know, round your lower back here into the floor like we do. So when you exhale, you round. That's one position of the lower back. As you inhale, right, you're gonna lift your lower back off of the floor, and the back of your left thigh may touch the floor, may not. It doesn't matter. But just notice that position of the pelvis, right? And then you're gonna try to come into that neutral again, without the lower back smashing into the floor. Okay, so then from here, take your right hand on top of your right kneecap. And this can be plenty of opening here. So keeping the back of your left thigh reaching towards the floor. Position 1. Position 2, knee comes out to the right. And turn your head over to the left and extend your left arm to the left. And breathe. Consider this hip position number 2. And then inhale, take the knee up. Take the knee into the left hand. And then exhale, roll onto the outside of your left hip. The whole time the left leg is still engaged. Reach your right arm out to the right. Turn your head over to the right. Position number 3. And then even here you can play with the hips leading the charge and the right shoulder coming off of the floor. That's more traditional. Or you can even play with keeping your right shoulder blade on the floor and then seeing what that does in terms of opening. Like when you play with tacking down different positions of the body, that'll hold back the twist a little bit. What does it take to go deeper into the twist? Okay, inhale, take the knee up, straighten the right leg. Let's do it on the left side. So bend your left knee, and grab the back of the left thigh or the kneecap. And then same thing here. It's the lower back we want to be aware of. So as you exhale, round your lower back into the floor. You'll feel the back of your right thigh lift. And then as you arch your lower back off the floor, you'll feel the back of your right thigh reach down towards. Come into neutral. And then take your left hand onto your left kneecap, release the right hand. Position number 1. Exhale, take your knee over to the left. Reach your right arm over to the right. Turn your head to the right to face the palm of your hand. Position number 2. And then inhale, knee up. Take your right hand onto your left kneecap. Take your left hip up off the floor. Twist over to the knee over to the right. Left arm comes out to the left. Turn your gaze to the left. And this is position number 3. And again, you can play with anchoring your left shoulder blade onto the floor. And then how does that actually increase your awareness of where you might be tight in the trunk of your body, as opposed to lifting your left shoulder up off of the floor and asking the shoulder for the opening. You're going to actually keep the the shoulder in, and you're going to have to find more milking throughout the body and the trunk of the leg. Inhale, take the knee up, release the leg, relax and feel. So those are the 3 positions that we'll be exploring with the strap now. So from here, bend your right knee, strap your right foot, and then from here, the leg may be not straight up, that's fine. It could be out, and wherever it is, you just want to find a little bit of a tickle in the hamstring. That 10 to 20% of the tickle in the hamstring, but the work and the posture is in the left leg. So explore the lower back a little bit. So as you exhale, push your lower back into the floor. As you inhale, lift your lower back off of the floor. And then come into neutral, hold neutral in the spine, and then go into the right hamstring. You might notice that the outside of the right hip will lift. So it's like the inside of your right thigh will push away from your head, and the outside of the right hip will lift. And do the opposite. Pull the outside of your right hip down, and pull the inside of your right thigh up a little bit. And again, you're going in for the tickle in the hamstring without locking the knee. So the problem here is we might ask for the straight leg from the knee and not so much from the hamstring. So try to keep the right knee neutral, just like you're trying to keep your back neutral. Position number 1. Then from here, straps into the right hand. Take the right leg over to the right, and then left arm comes out to the left. Turn your gaze to the left. Position number 2. So those of you who are familiar with like the yoga postures, you can think about this like triangle pose. Yeah? Form of triangle. In eating here, you might find the outside of your right hip is actually lifting up towards your right ear. Try to pull the outside of your right hip away from your right ear. And then you can turn your gaze to face your left hand, just like you would in a triangle pose in yoga. And then inhale, take your right leg up, and then shift the straps into the left hand. Right arm comes up to the right, and then as you exhale, come onto the outside of your left hip. Pull the outside of your right hip away from your head. Again, and you can turn your gaze over to the right. So this is revolved triangle pose, if you will. Left leg is still engaged. So imagine you're still standing on the left leg. It's like the left leg is the anchor of the posture. It doesn't have the same, I don't know, tickle, same opening if you were to let go of the leg. So I always think of the left leg as, if that's not engaged then the posture is not charged. And then inhale, take your right leg up. Take the right leg down, relax and feel. Compare the right side to the left side. Let your mind take that in. And then we'll switch the legs. So lasso your left foot. Take the left leg up, just kind of get the general shape of the posture, nothing too big. And then from here, explore the lower back. So as you exhale, round the lower back, the back of the right thigh will come up off of the floor. Inhale, lift your lower back off of the floor, back of the right thigh will come closer to the floor. And then come into neutral, like you would if you were standing. Right leg is engaged, so much so that you feel like you could balance on that leg if you were standing on it. And then from here, lift your left leg up without smashing your lower back into the floor, keeping the lower back in neutral and looking for the tickling of the opening in the hamstring without locking the left knee. Knees neutral, back to neutral. And then from here, again, rotate the outside of your left hip away from your left earlobe. So you're lengthening the left side of the body. And breathe. So when you do this on your own, you don't have to worry about all the key points, like everything that I'm telling you. Just think about if you were standing on both legs, what would that feel like? The legs are engaged. And try to remember to keep it out of your lower back. To put it more into the hamstrings and the hips. Okay, straps into the left hand, right hand comes out to the right arm comes out to the right. Exhale, left leg over to the left, turn your gaze over to the right. And again, pull the outside of your left hip away from your left earlobe. Triangle pose. And you're still kicking into both legs, keeping both knees neutral. And then inhale, take your left leg up, straps into the right hand, keep the right leg engaged as you take the left leg over to the right, left arm extends out to the left, turn your gaze over to the left palm, keep the right leg engaged, revolve triangle pose. Again here, make sure the outside of the left hip keeps reaching away from your head and not cinching up. So the left side of the rib cage stays long. And then inhale, take your left leg up, take the left leg down, let go of the straps, relax and feel. Compare left to right. Again, let the mind take that in. Bend your knees one at a time. Roll over to the right side or left side and come on up. And then what I'd like you to do, so we're gonna do 90-90. We'll do 90-90 supported. So grab something firm, like it could be a towel or a blanket or a block even. It just has to not be like a squishy pillow because your sit-bone needs something to sit on. And so we'll do the left hip first. So what you'll do is you want to have a corner kind of sit on, and you'll sit your left sit bone on it. So just on the corner. left shin comes into 90, right leg comes into 90. Yeah? There you go. How's that, Ginger? Thumbs up?
Is it my front leg that has the pillow? I mean,
No,
that
it-
has the towel?
Yeah, your front leg has the just under your sit bone, that corner. You're just tucking it underneath your sit bone.
Oh, the sit
Talking about-
bones. Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
so Ginger, on your left sit bone, so it's on the right one. I was going to see if I could prop up your
You went on the left one.
prop up your left hip. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. All right.
Better?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let me lower it. Okay. Whoops, what did I just do?
And I know some people like to move through cramps on this one. I can't do it. I always admire people who can. So breathe, flex your feet. And then something I like to do is I kind of like to explore a little bit of the twist in 90-90. So keep twisting over to the left. And then come to center, take both hands on either side of your left thigh. And if you'd like to, you can lift your right foot up off of the floor. And release. And other side. So if you'd like to try it, you can place, again, the blanket underneath your right sit bone. Yep. Flex your feet and then walk the hands over to the right if you'd like to play with the twist first. And then walk your hands over to such that they're right on either side of your right thigh. And if you want more, you can lift your left foot up off the floor, up to you. However you want to increase the intensity. Or if you're enjoying the intensity right here, just hang out right here. And then from here, come out of that. And then we're going to work on a seated posture. So this is where you're pull out that chair, that soft chair that you had, Ginger, so you can sit. So you want to make sure you can sit such that your knees are below the crests of your hips. And we'll come into Sukhasana. So feet are underneath your knees. Yeah. As high as it's gotta go. It's all good. There you go. That looks good. How's it feel? Is it okay, Ginger? Thumbs up? Good? All right. So from here, take your right hand, place it to the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand behind you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Notice if your right sit bone is lifted up and try to push the right sit bone down. So you're looking for the inside of your sit bone and you're trying to reach to that through the pelvis, if you will. Again, it's like the leg in the postures that we just did, the extended leg that was going away from our head. That's the anchor of the pose. In this pose, you can think of the anchor right now as your right sit bone. That shouldn't give. Don't let it give. And the only way to keep it from giving is pure will. It's pure will to keep it there. And then inhale, look forward. Exhale, and then switch the legs. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, left arm to the outside of the right knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and twist to the right. Again, anchor of the pose is the left sit bone. It wants to come for the ride. Keep the left sit bone reaching away from you to the left. Inhale, look forward. Take a moment to exhale. Inhale, come out of the twist. From there, extend your legs forward. Cool. And then from here, you're going to take your right leg in. And your left leg is going to stay in neutral. So the tendency is to want to rock the left knee down towards the floor and hyperextend the knee. Keep the knee in neutral, like we've been practicing, just like your lower back would be in neutral. Take your hands on either side of your left thigh. Lift your lower back in. And then gently fold forward, focusing only on getting the tickle in the back of the left thigh, the hamstring. Don't focus on trying to get your head forward at all. In fact, if anything, I want your back to be as flat as possible. Lower back keeps pulling in. Head is high. And then kick your left heel into the floor to activate the back of the left leg. Feel that. And then see if you can go forward another 1/4 of an inch deeper into the forward fold. And then inhale, come on up, switch the legs. Left leg comes in, right leg goes forward, right leg stays in neutral. So you're not locking the right knee. Hands on either side of the right thigh. Turn and face the leg. And then exhale, come forward. So right here, you're trying to get in front of the sit bone, on that right sit bone. Playing with that edge, that tickle. Without rounding the back. Stage 2, kick your right heel into the floor, activate the back of the right leg without hyperextending the right knee, and maybe go forward another 1/4 of an inch. Breathe. Inhale, coming on up. Take those legs forward, shake them out. And then come off of your blankets, whatever you got. And then we're gonna do just one, like a mini back bend, but it's gonna be a passive back bend. So you're gonna take your blankets or towels, like we usually do before we would fold them up for the supported Baddha Konasana. And then you're gonna roll it up just a little bit. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna place your shoulder blades on the flat part of the blanket or towel, and the part of the spine, the thoracic part of the spine just underneath the shoulder blades is gonna go on the roll. So it takes a little bit. So it's imagine like the bottom of your shoulder blades are grazing the top of the roll, but they're not on the roll. Shoulder blades aren't on the roll. And so you should almost feel like your rib cage is popping up away from the floor. Bend your knees. Arms out to the sides. If it's too much, you can come off of it and undo the roll. If you would like more intensity, you can straighten the legs. We're going to be here for about one more minute. Feel the breath. Like, imagine if you were standing like this. Like, what would that look like? Like, what kind of posture would that be? And see how the breath has had to change. Like, literally the shape of the breath in the body has changed. And then if your legs were straight, bend your knees, roll to one side, take the blanket out from underneath you and lie right back down and allow the back to go back into neutral. Legs straight or legs bent, depending on your lower back. Relax and feel. Always for me, it feels easier to breathe. It's like I've stretched the breath. You can watch the breath as it comes back into its more traditional, more average shape. Feel that movement of the body as it shifts back into neutral. And bend your knees one at a time. Roll to your side. Stay here for a moment and have your head on your arm. And then take your top arm's hand down, push yourself up. And then find a seat or lie down. So that we can come back alive gently. Your shoulder blades down the back, hands into the elbows underneath the shoulder. And then you can take your hands together in front of your heart. If you're comfortable with that, bow your head to yourself. And then take your hands back down on your thighs, lift your head, open the eyes, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday, you guys. It was good to see you.